I don't know what to do. Sometimes we're close together, sometimes he's far apart. Sometimes we can't even get on the same page. It's like we don't have anything in common anymore. And I don't know what to do about it. I want to make it work, but there's just, I don't know, there's nothing we have going anymore that we can both agree on. Have you ever felt like that? In your marriage, in your relationship, with the person you love or used to love or are still trying to love but you're not sure? That can be frustrating and painful, and you want to try to give it a go and give it all you've got, but you don't know what to do or how to do it. So somebody was asking me the other day how I've been able to make it work, how I've been able to stay together this long with my teenage sweetheart. Somebody I met when I was 17 years old. I like to joke around, I met him at Subway. He made me a sandwich. I was working on my memoir, and he said something to me like, it started with a cold cut combo, and now we're a combo that can't be cut, and it's not cold. I thought that was cute, but in all seriousness, people that get together sometimes when they're very young, like teenagers, they seem to grow apart as they get older because they're now figuring themselves out. They're now going, you know what, I am not that person I was when I was 16, 17, 18 when we met. I'm a completely different person. Maybe you feel like you've done all this self-work on yourself, all this growth, and they haven't, and they're stuck the way they used to be. And so people have asked me, how have you been able to stay together with your teenage sweetheart like 2 decades? What is the secret behind that? And the secret is having a common goal, having something that you can both fight for where you're on the same page heading the right direction. And when you don't have stuff in common, like my husband and I, we really don't have a lot in common. Even when we met, he was this punk rock dude with the colorful hair, skateboarder, grungy baggy clothes, and I was this little prim and proper church girl wearing business suits, and I had selling Mary Kay, having my own little business, and there was nothing really that would make us fall for each other except maybe teenage hormones, but certainly nothing that would make us stay together in the natural. So it's like when you're in a relationship with someone, you're here, they're here, and sometimes you're close and sometimes you're far apart. Sometimes you're together, sometimes you're going your own way, sometimes they're going their own way, and sometimes you're so far off the radar you're not even on the same plane anymore, it seems like. So when it's like that in life, they got their whole thing and you got your whole thing, I write poetry, my husband doesn't want to have anything to do with poetry. I can drag him to a poetry night once a year on my birthday maybe, and ever since I was a teenager, I do not go watch him skateboard anymore. He's been skateboarding for 3 decades and I'm over it because that's not my thing. So how is it that we stay together? How is it that we can be a couple that likes being around each other, that likes being in each other's presence? Here's the thing. When you're each doing your own thing, going your own way, you're on this one plane, but when you have something up here that's this common goal, this thing that you're both fighting for or striving for, sometimes people have it as a business, or it's maybe it's your children, or it's something you're both fighting for, co-parenting. It works for a while when you're going that same direction, but even that is not a surefire thing. Businesses fail, people change interests, kids move out. But if you make that common thing you're fighting for way at the top, if you make that God, then no matter what your interests are, if you're both trying to get closer to God in that pursuit, your singular line becomes a triangle. And even without trying, when you are going your own way, when you both start to get close to God, you automatically get closer to each other. Having that common thing you're striving for, wanting a deeper relationship with God, both fighting for your prayer time, your quiet time, getting in God's presence and opening up to His love, automatically makes you get close to each other. Without that there anchoring you, When it's just the two of you, you're close, you're not, you're close, you're not, but having that common goal will keep you together, pointed in the right direction. And when you're close to God, you've got so much love to go around. When you are in that presence of God, the Bible says love covers a multitude of sins. Suddenly, you know, when you're just on this plane together and they're doing this thing that's annoying you and you're doing this thing that's annoying them, suddenly that you were able to turn a blind eye. Like the scripture says, love covers a multitude of sins. So all these little things that, you know, you don't like about them or they don't like about you, you start to realize that's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. You have this great relationship with God, and you can, you know, I'm a mess and my husband's like an OCD neat freak. So I do my best to try to honor him and keep things more tidy, try not to have my clothes all over the bed and all over the couch and all over the cedar chest. And he tries to turn a blind eye and not see the mess. Whereas I am also doing my best to close cupboard doors and drawers so people don't run into things. So my scatteredness and his neat OCD, he's had to be a little more lenient, and I've had to pick up the pace. So doing things for each other because you see you want to honor that person. You want your relationship with God to honor the person he's put you with for life. And when you're striving to go the same direction together, you will automatically be closer to each other, want to honor one another, and number 3, do things that the other appreciates and makes the relationship better. Okay, guys. Hope that helped. Live true, love hard, shine bright. Katherine Norland here. Hey there, it is Katherine Norland. I hope you enjoyed that video. And if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And if you guys think that this video would bless somebody else or that they need to hear it, please hit the share button. And there's a little bell button too where you can be notified whenever I have a video that comes out so you don't miss a thing. I appreciate you guys. Remember, always live true, love hard, shine bright, and I will see you in the next video.